Hey guys, today I want to talk about stress, something that we all have and all experience in life. And we know that stress can be negative. It can have a negative impact on our health, our mental and emotional, and moving sometimes even into the physical health. So that's what I want to address today. And not from the perspective of like stress reduction. Like there are ways to reduce stress. Everybody knows this. Like you can Google that stuff, okay? What I want to talk about in terms of stress reduction is changing your perspective on these things, on these situations, on these events, whatever is stressing you out today, whatever is causing you to suffer or have negative feelings or just a weight on your shoulders, whatever that is, there are ways to reduce that stress on you. And it's going to come in a way that is probably like you're not going to like what I have to say right now, which is you and we, I'm talking to myself here too, are responsible for that stress, because the event in and of itself, or the situation, or whatever circumstance you might be in, is itself neutral, okay? But it's your perspective on it that's causing you stress, and me causing me stress on the things, the way I look at things. So we have to take a look at this stuff, and we have to realize that it's the stories that we're telling ourselves about this situation that are causing it to be stressful to us. So the important thing about this is I can tell you ways to reduce your stress in your life. Yeah, meditate, deep breathing, all these things that we all know. But there are going to be situations in your life that are still going to feel stressful to you and to me. We would look at those situations and go, well, anyone would feel stressed out about that. Maybe you have a sick family member. Maybe someone's just passed away. I mean, like real severe things in people's lives. Or maybe it's a job situation, whatever the case may be. So there are really, truly stressful things in our lives that are, getting us stuck, and we can't get out of this stress state. So what do? We have to start taking a look at them and realize it's the stories we're telling ourselves that is creating more stress for us. So if we can start changing these stories, if we can start changing our mindset, if we can start shifting the way we're looking at this, the way we're thinking, that will reduce some of that stress, and it won't be as stressful to us, creating that cascade of chemicals that affects us so powerfully. So what does this look like? Whatever the situation is, there's always a flip side. And so even in the topic of stress itself, we have this idea that stress is a bad thing. Stress is negative. We want to get rid of stress as much as possible. Well, that in itself has a flip side. Stress isn't always a bad thing. In fact, stress can be a good thing in many ways. When we go to the gym and we lift weights, we're putting stress on our muscles so they can build and be stronger. When we have a broken bone, we put stress on that eventually, when it can handle it, to make it stronger. I've talked about this in other videos before. So stress is not necessarily bad. It's only bad when you deem it as bad by the story you're telling about it. So another story you could tell about stress is, you know what, this is making me stronger when I pay attention. It's causing resiliency in me. Not to the point where you're overloading yourself, but then it allows you to take some steps to move forward and do something different, have a different perspective, maybe take different steps in your life, take different actions. So it's the stories we're telling. So whatever situation that you're in right now that seems super, super stressful or is causing you angst, take a look at it and find out, what can I find that's equally as true here? That not that the old story isn't existing, but there's another story I can tell about it, another perspective. And I've talked about this before, but this is the important thing, is start looking at the stories you're telling yourself and start telling a better story, because both stories can be true. So pay attention to the stories you're telling, listen to what's coming out of your mouth, watch what's happening in your brain that's causing you to realize, oh my gosh, I have the same storyline going. And start shifting that story. That is going to reduce the stress in your life. And that's the way to do it, especially about things that are not changeable for you right now. So I keep forgetting to also mention, go to my website, youareunstoppable.com. On there is my blog tab. Go to my blog if you want to get more free content about ways to shift your perspective, shift your mindset, stop suffering, get unstuck. All those things are there with action steps that will be helpful to you. So youareunstoppable.com on the blog, and I hope this helps.